Hi guys, hopefully this link is working now. I have no idea what's going on. I did it the same as I always do, and then all of a sudden some of these titles kept showing up with you guys on the broadcast, which is really unusual because usually it doesn't do that to me. Maybe we entered it a different way. So hopefully this link is working, and let me know if you can. So okay, well, all right, so I'm going to record this, and that way that we won't have the recording on there. So let's just see what happens, and we'll go from there. I'm going to shut my Facebook. Okay, I have no idea what's going on. I did the same as I always do, and then all of a sudden some of these titles kept showing up with you guys on the. Okay, so now I'm here. I have no idea. Just a chick in the computer. Signing oil, international oils and distributors is where we left off. So here's what I suggest. When you get hit up by somebody who's from another country or whatever, the first thing I do is that I go to my own page. Like I don't log in, I go to my own page and I change the country. And then I know, I've been talking to a lot of people from New Zealand. So I change it to New Zealand and that pulls up what a person from New Zealand would see and their prices and all of that on the distributor kit, on the product. So I do that. And that also tells you what products are available in their country. And then I also go to YouTube, and YouTube, like It Works New Zealand, distributors, things like that. And I will watch how they are training their team and the information that they would tell them. So that's really all I know to tell you. Other than that, new products are releasing. Both New Zealand and the UK all got greens and hair, skin, and nails just a few days ago. So very, very exciting time to be looking to expand these international teams. We will be going in more countries. I'm hearing Italy by the end of the year, maybe. So that would be great. I just keep paying attention, and I know we'll have more next year. So, okay. So let me go back to my questions. Hopefully we're trucking right along and getting your questions answered. Okay. So once a potential says they're interested, then what? Okay. So here's what I say. When someone says they want more information, here's what I say to them. I say, that's great that and you can insert because when someone says they're interested, I said I'd love to tell them more about it, but before I info overload you, which I have a tendency to do because I love this business, haha, I always kind of be a little self-deprecating there. I say, tell me, have you heard much about It Works with the Wraps before? And they'll answer that question. You always want to end with a question. And when they say yes, I say, that's great that you've heard a little bit about them. I'm happy to tell you more. Before I dive into everything, there's a video I want you to watch that really breaks down what we do, and it's just 11 minutes long. If I sent that to you, would you watch it? And they say yes. So I send it to them and say, when do you think you could watch that by so that I could check back in with you? And they'll tell me. They set the appointment, and then I check back in. After they've watched the video, I get them on the phone. That is the next step. That is the best thing you can do, and here's why. Because when you get someone on the phone, they can hear your energy, your passion, that you're a real person, that this is not some kind of scam. You can answer their questions. And honestly, at that point, you need to let them do the talking. The less talking you do, the less word vomit, which trust me, I've done it and I've learned the hard way, that you let them lead the discussion. What their goals would be. Do they think they'd be a good fit for the business? What questions do they have? Find out what they want and how much they would be willing to dedicate to do that. And then if that's a good distributor, potential distributor, or maybe needs to be even a loyal, which is great too. So that's how when someone says they're interested, that's the process that I follow every single time. So people want to know how I sign distributors, that's how I sign distributors. So, blitzing. Blitzing is one of those things that, I'm saying it's not everybody's strong suit, but it's one of those things that the more you do it, the better you get. If you just give someone a blitz card, you got about a 5% chance they're going to call you back. If you get their information, that goes up to about 80% that you're going to have some type of contact that can then close the deal. So it's a great way to just say, when you say, hey, have you heard of this? And you hand them a blitz card and you shut up. And they either say yes or no, and that leads you. And you'll know. But if you can get their information real quick to just say, I do a weekly drawing. Can I get your cell phone to put you in here, or your email, or hey, real quick, you want to find me on Facebook, and that way you can follow up with me. I don't want to be that pushy salesperson. All those types of things work in getting people's information. We overcomplicate it. It's really not that difficult. But I can tell you, the more you do it, the better you get. And if you have a very deep belief in this, in not only the products but also the business, and you know that you're offering something to someone that's very special and could change your life, that changes the scariness of the blitz, if you ask me. Because if you knew that let's say that somebody was sick and you had the cure, well, that would be kind of rude to withhold, wouldn't it? It's the same kind of thing. If you knew you had something that could change somebody's life, then tell them about it. Give them the opportunity and let them decide. So that's what I would say to you about blitzing. When people say it's water loss for the raft, water loss, the raft is just water loss. You know, I'll tell you a little method that works for me, because that's what a lot of people think. Embrace the skepticism. Okay, put yourself back on their level and say, I was a total skeptic when I first heard of these rats. And that's true. I thought, what? There's no way those do that. And I've known this girl for 25 years that posted about the rats. And I didn't believe it. So that tells you that, of course, skepticism is a natural course of thought. So what you do is you just say, I totally know what you feel. I know where you're coming from. That's what I thought. It said, I know how you feel. I felt the same way. Here's what I found. The feel, felt, found method. So, you know how you feel? I felt the same way. Here's what I found. I was just too curious. I tried it. It was 25 bucks. I thought, okay, I've got to try this for myself. It's affordable. We spent 25 bucks at Taco Bell. Okay, it's just, or McDonald's or for dinner. It was just worth it to try it. It said there are a lot of wraps out there that are weight loss, but these are not. These tighten, tone, and firm, and are basically a skin patch is what they are. They're a skin treatment. So yeah, I totally know where you're coming from, but no, these are different. And keep it positive and keep it light and be confident, because they're not watershed. You have to drink water to make them work, and that's what I tell people. What if they don't have an email? In this day and age, it takes 5 minutes to set up an email. So if someone doesn't have email, they can either use somebody else's, which I don't recommend, because a lot of communication that's important with the company, we communicate through email. That's very important that they have an email. But it takes 5 minutes to go set up a Yahoo or a Google, or it doesn't take any time. So if somebody doesn't have an email, make them get one. All right, you need to have an email this day. When you have a potential that wants to sign up, but then doesn't because their friends tell them it doesn't work, I kind of revert back to the feel, felt, found. I totally understand why they'd be skeptical. I was a skeptic too. But here's what I found. I feel, felt, I know how you feel. This is how I felt. This is what I found. Okay? And you just have to be confident. So much of this comes from your confidence level that you're putting into this. So when I say that, you can either say the wrap does work. So either they didn't do it right, which happens because sometimes distributors don't instruct their customers how to use the wrap, or they didn't do it right, or they had unrealistic expectations, or they didn't get a full treatment. So I say you've got to try. You've got to be insistent. You got to say you have got to try and get these results for yourself. Here are my results. Show them. Hold up your phone and show them your results, and say it worked. What can I tell you? That it did it on me. I've seen it with my own eyes, hundreds and hundreds of times. So if you're insistent and you are confident and you come across that way, then you'll get over that. You're not going to win everybody over, but most people you can say, yes, I understand there are some people that don't use it right, but the wrap always works. The people are the one that screw it up. And just tell them you got your own results, or you wrap this person up and saw it with your own eyes. That belief, you just have to transfer that belief to them. It's all you have to do. Suggestions for creative ways to find distributors to share our opportunity with. Well, we all need to know how to do this, because everybody's warm market is going to rent out. Very rarely does that initial warm market get, yes, we can find some success there, but very rarely is that what takes us all the way to the top. Okay, you've got to network and be consistent and find new people. And blitzing obviously is a way to do that. I would suggest you join groups. A mom's group, a preschool group, a church group, a volunteer group, or organization. Get out and about. Social media is great, and yes, there are people that build 100% through social media, but this still, at its core, is a relationship business, a belly-to-belly business. And the more that you are consistent on Facebook and social media, and just in general, and being a positive, happy person, and then growing your network and meeting new people. That's how you find new distributors. A new suggestion that I've been trying, and I've heard a lot of people have success with this, is join groups on Facebook. Now, be careful in the mom groups. Some of those can be a little bit anti, but certain groups, whatever interest you have. If you're interested in music, if you're interested in bodybuilding, if you're interested in sewing or cooking, there is a group for everything that you can imagine. So you need to go in there and join the group and not say anything about it works, but you need to make connections with people, comment on people's posts, develop a relationship with people, and then when they go to your page, that's when they see it works. When you're in those groups and stuff, don't say a thing about it works. But you develop relationships and connections with people, and then they come back. I hear LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn, but I don't really use it. But I hear you can actually grow your business that way. Of course, Instagram is a great way to meet a lot of new people and develop relationships. So there's tons and tons of Instagram videos on YouTube on how to grow your business, and Periscope is another good way. All of these things just really boil down to networking. So however you want to find to network with more people, that's what I would suggest to you. That's what works for me. I've joined some groups. I volunteer with the junior league. I've had some parties that way, and stuff like that. So Ellen has a hysterical question. What to do when my new distributor doesn't show up to her own party? Now that's a new one. That is pathetic and hysterical at the same time. My suggestion to you on that would be to move on. Of course, you might message her, but let's just talk. Since that I've never heard that before, and I apologize. That had to be awful, but borderline laughable because somebody would be so crazy. He would not show up to their own party. So I would say move on. But I would say to that, I would say you go find new people. Ellen, you know what you have in your hands, and you will have a funny story to tell for the rest of your It Works career. That when you had a launch party that the distributor herself didn't show. That is classic and really funny. So just put that in your pocket as a funny story that you have seen it all, been there, done that. It can't get any worse than that, and know that you're only going up from there. But when you stay positive after that happens, you cut that person loose. That person has no business in your organization for wasting your time like that, and that's incredibly inconsiderate. But this, when you're just talking about inactive distributors in general, they don't get your time. Okay? Too long I have begged and begged and begged people to work because I needed them to work. I mean, it would have been good for my business when really my time would have been better spent sitting there watching television, no less, than trying to, motivate a distributor who's not going to work. But spend that time investing in finding other people. Like we said, networking, messaging out to people. Hey, girl, I would really like to have you on my team. Have you ever thought about making extra income? Find a sincere message that works for you. Don't just cut and paste. I'm going to tell you guys something that happened to me over the weekend. I got a message from someone I did not know, and I have my settings set so that people can message me and it gets to my inbox. I don't exactly know how I have it set like that, but anybody can pretty much message me. And it said, "Hi, Amy," and then went to this whole spiel about Plexus, which is another network marketing opportunity. And that is just a disaster. Okay, that obviously shows a cut and paste. That shows it's so anti what we are being taught through our social media with John Eric Mosler, and how we're being taught to be thoughtful and develop relationships and to care about people and to help people get what they want, and it just is ridiculous. And it was this whole long spiel about Plexus and how successful she'd been. I saw they worked in this and that. Cross recruiting. It's against their rules. Okay, every multi-level has rules against cross recruiting. I guarantee it. So just wrong on all fronts. And my response to her was, number one, do I know you? And number two, my name's not Amy. First of all, my name's not Amy. Second of all, do we know each other? And she came back, oh, Tracy, I'm so sorry. I found your name through a meetup group of Omaha Work From Home or something like that that I didn't even know I was a part of. And I've been incredibly successful with Plexus, and I'd love to get together to talk to you about that. And I just said, I let her know. I said, well, I've been successful in my own right with It Works, but I said, may I offer you a piece of advice? That we are taught and instructed how to be thoughtful on social media. And I said, might I offer that cutting and pasting a message, first of all, that link addressed to the wrong person and cutting and pasting is not how you go about doing that. So anyway, and I blocked her because that's completely ridiculous to do something like that. So develop a relationship. I would highly recommend you not just go boom. If you haven't seen somebody in 20 years, don't just go send them a thing and say, hey, you want to join my team? You got to develop a relationship with them again. You gotta get your feet wet again with that. You gotta comment on their pictures and like their pictures, and maybe if you get to a certain point, you say, oh my gosh, how are you doing? Your kids are so cute. Sincere messages to people that show you care about them and that you're not friends with them just so that they can be a potential in your business. That's so important for the longevity of your business. So, okay. Let's see. One of the things here, post for getting distributors. Post for getting distributors. Hang on just a second. Let's see if this is working. What video do I send a potential distributor? I send them the one from Denise Walsh. Just Google Denise Walsh Party Pad, and it will show you the 11-minute video that I send. I really would like to come up with my own. Just haven't figured out the one I want to do yet. And then post to get distributors. The truth is, there is no post to get a distributor. You never know what's going to speak to the right person. You just have to, number one, be consistent. Number two, be positive. And this goes back to everything that we talk about on a regular basis. Positivity on Facebook, no negativity, consistency on your wall and on all social media, and just in talking in general, and wearing a shirt, wearing a bracelet, all the different things. The truth is, you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. And that's come straight from the mouth of Pam Souter. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. If the opportunity and what you're saying is, so that's what I mean. Don't stress. Don't overthink what you're saying, because if you're being consistent and you're showing the fun of this business, and for example, we put our Omaha meeting. We always post a picture of that every month that we have the big Team Networks meeting, and I got a couple messages, and so did my friend Amanda. Said, "Are your meetings really that fun?" And all we did was post a picture and a few words about this great group of people that we get to meet with. We didn't say, hey, join my team, $99. We put out there a fun meeting. We had a guest speaker at our meeting in Omaha a couple days ago, and she really, she was highly successful in multi-level before, also is now a very successful realtor here in Omaha. And one of the things that she really pointed out was women's need for something like this, for association with feeling like they belong to something. And when we put out there the fun that we're having, there's a reason we're doing that. I didn't realize it was something that was missing from my life. I was, again, being an accountant, I didn't have a ton of friends. I had a very small core group of friends that I am fiercely loyal to, but it was a very small group. I just wasn't the kind of personality that I needed a bunch of friends. I was fairly introverted. But I didn't realize that I was missing being a part of something really fun and feeling like I was a member of a group and that I mattered and that I contributed. And that's why we have these pages sometimes, so that you know that you matter, that you belong to this group, that you can be a part of something with meaning, and that most people are not going to go into a network marketing business, thinking that they're going to discover a lot about themselves and find out a lot about themselves and grow as an individual. And it's been, truth be told, one of the best parts of what we do here. For me, I'm better than I was 3.5 years ago when I started. I'm better at the business. I'm better in general. I'm a better person. And I didn't realize that I needed that. I didn't realize that I wanted more friends, that I would enjoy being around large groups of women and gentlemen too, that, as we really are starting to trend with more men in the business. So appeal to that. You need to appeal to that in women, show how much fun we're having, and the freedom that we have and what this business is doing for your life. That is how you bring distributors to you. I don't think anybody gets distributors. You invite people into your life, into your journey, into your adventure, and you do that through consistency on social media and in person when you're fun, when you offer things to people. It's just that's how you do it. And the longer you stay, the more people you're going to get. And I mean, some people get a bunch right out of the gate. Yeah, it happens. But the large majority of people are going to get more and more people as the longer they stay in the business, because people know this business is legit, especially if you're consistent. It's not one of those things that you go in and quit 30 days later because you didn't make a bunch of money right out of the gate, which is most people don't. So that's how you do it. That when we say you got to give this 3 to 5 years, that's why. In 5 years, your life will not even look remotely the same, unless you gave up along the way because you didn't sign 10 distributors in a month, or because you had a really slow month, or because somebody hated on you. I had a loyal customer today tell me that the thermofit made her nauseous and this and that, and she couldn't sleep at night, and she wanted to cancel. And I said, well, you gotta, some steps you gotta take to do that. And I couldn't let that get me down. I'm like, but instead I thought of all the people that thermofit has helped, and I thought of the 8 pounds that I lost the first time I took thermofit. So I know that thermofit works. I told her I was really sorry. I was very positive, and and then I let her handle that. I'm not going to help someone cancel their account. So follow how you look at it. You can't let anything get you down. I texted a couple people today, and I didn't hear back from them. You know what? And I'm talking about my distributors, okay? Distributors and people who should be getting back to me. I'm not going to let that get me down. I know the business works, guys. I do, and I'm going to leave you with this because I know we're over on time because of all our technical difficulties. If you want to bring distributors into your business, if you sign loyal customers and maybe can't get distributors, I think I can probably give you a pretty good idea of why. I actually sign more distributors than I do loyal customers, and here's why. When you give you an example. When you have physically watched the greens help you or help a client of yours or a friend or a customer or whatever, when you watch that happen, you know it to be true, and you want to shout it from the rooftops, and you have no trouble telling someone, you got to try this. This would really help you. Okay? Or that could be true of any product. The wrap, the greens, fat fighters, thermofit, relief, all of these products that can really change people's lives. The business is no different. I know right here, I know for a fact that this business works, that it changes lives. It's changed mine. It has changed countless lives of the women around me. And so I know that to be true. And it's very easy for me to convey that belief, to transfer that belief to someone else. In the same way that if you're a huge proponent of the greens, and it's easy for you to share that with someone because it's been so life-changing, the business is the same thing. So if you're not doing that, if you're somehow mousy or afraid to share the business, then you need to go back and really look at your core belief and make sure that you know that this business works. Because if you're self-doubting all the time and you're not 100% sure if you're ever going to get there, that's what's preventing you from bringing distributors into the business. I guarantee it. So go back and really assess why and make sure that you know this business works. One of the ways I would recommend you do that, I want you to read 2 books. And we've talked about these before. I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face. Go Pro by Eric Worre, W-O-R-R-E, and The 4-Year Career. Both of them are on Amazon. Both of them extremely inexpensive, like $7, something like that. I insist that you read those, because when you know that network marketing works, you know what this business can do for someone else, you will have zero trouble sharing it. In the same way you would share a good restaurant, in the same way you would share a medicine that you had, in the same way that you would share a product that you know is going to change somebody's life and you know it's going to help them. When you can say that about the business too, you will bring people into your business. I promise you. I swear to you that that's going to happen, because that's why the passion that I'm sitting here talking to you is how I talk to every single one of my potential distributors. There is, at the end of our conversations, there's not a doubt in their mind that if they want this, it works. I will help them, and I will give them the tools. We get them the car, we turn on the key, they push the gas. That's the only thing left for them to do, because this business works. And that's what it boils down to. So I hope I got all of your questions answered. I apologize profusely for all of the technical difficulties. I will post my channel so that everybody can make sure they're subscribing to that, and then they'll get these recordings. They'll get an email whenever there's a recording. There's going to be 2 tonight, and the first one's going to be really crappy. So you guys have a good night. Make sure you are paying attention tomorrow at 3:05 Eastern for a new product. Can't wait to see what it is. Bye, guys. Have a good night.